So my hair is bothering me. I thought it'd be nifty to take those bleach tips and extend them higher. And it's brassy. A lot of it's brassy. And it's got that funny yellow, some little orange in there, and I don't like it. It's too much yellow, but what's yellow about it is that it's brassy. And what else? Yeah, I'm not liking that. Do not like my hair, so I don't know if I'm going to cut it or not. I'm trying to figure that out. I've been looking at, I've not looked at what House Industries has been up to. Curiously, there's some ad content the last wee while. My timing's pretty good to be curious, I would imagine. I'm talking about the timing. When I think about, let's see what's going on the other end. I don't know. For me, there's something akin to your efforts at House seem to be somewhat about inducing vanity because you don't have follow through, and so you build this sort of reflection of having to, and that's your best positioning. Is no different from the law -S-T-. When I think about people in the law who get good at the law, in quotations, I checked my last video, I said something was in parentheses, it was in quotations. Anyway, the video didn't freeze, one before last, but certainly they know who they're talking to and for. Duh. So I don't really want to go into it. Hot rodding, Ford, whatever, it's pretty obvious to me. What else? When you're in the law, you know who you're talking, you know who you are talking to, and you know who you are not. KN-OT- talking to. That's why you can always bring the same time your ego -OT. Toft, hyphenated. There's no compassion there. There's no COMPASSIONE. There's no compassion there. It heard, doff, DOFF, ME. What else? Tired today. A couple of little mishaps. And then my hair. Honestly, my hair is really bugging me. So I put it back in a ponytail, and I've been trying pigtails. I'm like, really? Is pigtails really appropriate for someone my age? But it's just too much yellow brass, and it's really bothering me. And then I don't know if I need a haircut, and I don't know what I'm gonna do to live with this. and I don't really want to color it because that's why I got back to my natural color. And then it becomes this whole issue of style, and I don't even know if I like the current style right now. So it just might be something in the air. Humidity is a factor or not. I don't know, but I find myself very dissatisfied with what I have right now. Outside of the lip healing and the thumb, hurting. So I got a trifecta of less than status quo. A part of me reads what you're doing at house to deliberately keep putting an image out there, prout, PR, 0, WET. You can only look prout among the thieves that you feed. And I dare say you ask need. Well, certainly you need Judge Horn to protect your vanity. As an example, I don't think we need to go into that either. I had a lucid moment last night. It was about and it's connected to another thought that I had too. The lucid moment is getting that seeing your hierarchy of vanity as product replacement and seeing that in the greater inclusion of the law-S-T, Toft, lost to two Toft, yeah, doft, perpetually, hyphenated, as your creed, was realizing that, that is what it is. And seeing the greater ramifications of that. No one among you, including in the law, is telling me that you can't serve me. Because if you tell me you can't serve me, you're expressing that you have never, ever you've never haved the av, the ven, and the vend. You've never done it. So what is that saying about your positioning? Blatantly, you're making shit up all over the place as a man. That's what it's saying. But you're not saying that you can't serve me, so you milk me and you string me along. So the thought connected to that is well, there was a couple of ways to go forward, and of course there still are. But one was, was to work on Patreon and Kickstarter and to turn a new leaf, which I expressed in Mate, MAYT, the work that I submitted to Precog magazine. So it's for your viewing because I put it on on the house Facebook page. So while I was there, I tooled around. I was looking for the description I saw in Googling the page. Rich wrote beef neck. So that was something that was in-house at one time, but since I've gone to the House Industries website, I can't find that anymore. But I wanted to find that. Beef neck. C-O-L, the call. Which is interesting. The in, within and without. Within and wind and wing, W-I-N-N, parentheses D and G, and without, W-I with I, T-H-O-U-T. You're the time. There were a couple of things that I could consider and still can. One is if I do this all on my own, the irony is you will never be able to do anything on your own again. Ask me why? At this point, I don't know. That is just my intuition pointing to, if you're setting me up to do this on my own, you're never going to be able to do anything on your own again. I'm stating that now, and I don't know why, but maybe I could tell you a little more later. I don't know why. It's just the dynamism. And vaguely, I mean, there's a few things that I hesitate to fill in the gaps, but that's one of them. I can't tell you why right now. I sense that I know that, but I don't know why. So that's one of my options. You're playing a part in the setup. And the other is, let's see. I don't know. I don't really want to venture into it. I'm kind of tired today. I'm a little vexed. I'm just a little vexed, and I don't think it's all my hair. What's your intention for acting with one forward face that doing what you like gives you amiability to meet with other people and to combine product awareness and get a kickback out of that to continue to represent it when it's not really nailed down. I mean, I don't really know how to read that. It seems to me that you're civilly, with a civil lie, justifying squatting on women at any given time. You're creating vanity as a product. That's your whole organization. You find other people that will talk to you about it. And in talking about it, you can clearly see you're the love of the shape, of the type, of the face, for no reason and for nobody. So, why do you keep doing that? You consider it your right? Or you think that I've not done enough? I think you need to see that you're forcing the hand of vanity, even with your image, and you're forcing competition. And if you're not going to stand a reason, then go sign up to push the button to send the bombs over there. T-HEIR-D. Because you're as guilty as fair air -D as any yet buddy and any yet thing. Your tin, your hinge, your thing is all hyphenated. I'm kind of, every time I look at your image making, I'm just like, oh, for God's sake. You would hand off to get doffed a better T-rate hyphen. On my pate and plate, don't think it's very equitable. So I don't really know what you want me to do. Do this on my own, but I'm already letting you know, even though I don't know why. If I do this on my own, you never get to do anything on your own again. Okay. Shame. That's why. The H is obviously hyphenated in your hand. And I've only to gain that value of my own image, I have lent, and you have passé doffed. Misplacing, inherent. Your image is a kind of narcissism that you're willing to sustain for no reason. Make a claim. Make a mark. Make an honest mark. One-on-one. You're setting up a marketplace economy where you can glorify yourself for having an accrued aesthetic to your vision for no reason and for no follow through even. It's setting me up on the other end to have to work harder in the position of delicing, literally, because it's where I am found necessary in your fucking marketplace for no reason. Why necessary? I can be myself. People find me necessary here and they pay me. And I speak my mind, among other things. I could not work at Fairpoint, as you know, because as a recipient of their service, I blatantly let them know it's like a ramrod up my ass and I get hung up on. If I reason with them outside the box, I get jacked off. And your politeness, you're reflecting on that. You're passing that off. Well, He, Rich wrote, among other people, is polite for no reason, and his image has taught me to be polite for no reason. Even for no reason. Can't pack consciousness, can't unpack it in the now. Can't afford an honest dime, some met how? T-O-W-E, H-O-W-E, D-O-W-E. So I don't really know what to do. So I'm a bit vexed today. I'm tired of fucking having to spend my money on you as you're just pushing an apparently virtuous product out there with, Andy Cruz is going to talk to J.J. Abrams and we're going to talk about passion. Good. Go on. Good for you. It's a civil way of killing your Christ. C-H-O-H-R, the ho you are, is T. C-H-R, the ho you are, human resources. I divided by S, I is the street and the time. Time for completion. Does Sharon ever just get tired of your shit? It's the same shit, isn't it? But that's why you guys are bored with each other, because you're tired of her shit. And when you're not tired of each other's shit, you're growing because of my shtick. And then your emotions are like, well, Angela's not the world. Yes, but you're not supplying anything except for you're looking on my value and thinking that you earned it. I'm supplying the value, you're reflecting on it. You have the grandiose notion that you feel some met thing and that you are deserving. D. I don't really know how to get around it. I mean, I'm kind of tired, Doff, seeing your image for no reason and how you would continue in a marketplace of formal vanity. How do you think the woman at Fairpoint, who's very polite and knows to sit there and apologize and apologize and apologize for the bad service that she knows that she's playing a part in? Meaning that she's so serviceable to know how to get around me that I understand you're good at deceiving. You're not in a position of politeness and acumen nor refinement. You've never lent IT. You never lent it. I don't see you being honest, and I'm not happy about it. So why do you think that's okay? For you to keep putting up an image so that the next Doff that she supports at Fairpoint that works there, you're supporting, Andy Cruz is supporting with, we're not the people that shoot a gun. We go to work for a living. We don't think things through, anyone. and certainly we wouldn't supply anyone in the giving to get to. This is how we sustain our family relationships for no reason. Ha ha ha. I'm going to send my kids to a Montessori school. Live in a little glass house. G-L-ASS-. Wood block. B-L-O-C-K. You're into wood blocks. Great. And hot rods? Ugh, great. H-O-T. Hyphen. R-O-D. Hyphen. We'll just take our image to Japan. Why are you setting up the Tao with war to restore? You're in that container. You're not making a shred of difference to anyone that can't mark in my time. If you can mark in my time, why are you wasting my time? Now you want to be romantic? Do you like my haircut? Should we talk about trivial things? Why not? Do you think I should get a haircut, or do you think I should grow it out? Haircut, yes or no? It doesn't seem like it's a vital decision. Not unless we apply some meta. So I wanted to do notes today. I'm just kind of vexed. So maybe I'm going to go to the gym before it goes. Not because I want to. I want to take a nap, but gym closes early today. And it's my sound way of putting something into me and getting what I put in back. So I want to do that. I want to do that because I think it may rectify my day. Let's see, anything else here? So I have another video. I'm working on the next chapter, Mate, M-A-Y-T. And I put up the 4 pages that I sent to Precog magazine. Last I heard from them that they would be printing in the fall. I'm not saying whether that's going to happen or not. It's in their hands. My last video I was talking about, not waiting, that it's kind of my habit to do things myself, because if I If I work with other people, I end up waiting for no reason. And when I said that, I wanted to be clear that I was not inferring that was precog. It is doing more with my last employer and the dialogue that's taking place, that I should be getting a value out of being he-a-route artificially misplaced. I should be getting a value out of that because he-route artificially misplaced me on purpose so his lie could get away. W-he-ye-d. Away doth testate because he'd already gave doth testate money for no reason to stay in place. So building on that idea, money, and why another currency, Eve even, is to bring the Eve even the H parentheses EA period VEN in parentheses D, the even head, bring it even vent, the money in the marketplace has an even head. Even head, okay? There's an assumption because there's people that stand for completion, but once their money and their time hits the bank, it becomes hyphenated and it's Dow with war and to force their protection that they don't need. Okay, so that's one thing I'm bringing to light. People that can't afford an honest dime can't mark on me. Okay, they can't cross time. They have no honest T-A-R-E. They have no honest tear weight. So they're pack and ag. Agriculture, where they land, attorney general, their judge. They have no honest tear weight for packaging. So that's a fallacy. The protection, the notion of protection. What that is doing, it's basically spying on the good and stealing their value and taking it to this frame. Taking it to the competitive marketplace for no reason. So if anything, in masterminding a review and a reversal, it is using my eyeballs connected neurally to my forebrain and bringing back the B-R-A-N-D, the brand, the brand oft, and pulling it to my frame. So, even something as simple as, I'm using Carmex for the sore on my upper lip from a beauty cream. It's so funny, like this morning I woke up and I was like, oh man, I am so happy about Carmex. It's like less than $1 at Walmart. I'm into Jack Black. I really like Jack Black. It's a men's product line, but I like their Jack Black little tube of lip balm. And just checking if I have it here. But I totally, it's like seven, I would say it's about $7 or $8, this little tube. And it's kind of a fun thing to do. You're kind of like, you want to try different brands and stuff. And that's not coming in very well. I'll put a finger there, it might focus. Sorry. Anyway, it looks like this. This flavor is natural mint. I like it. It's handy, but you know what? I've totally forgot about Carmex. Carmex has been around, it seems, in my lifetime, forever. And why do I like it? It's keeping my sore moist and supple instead of crusty, and it has camphor in it. Camphor. Camphor. It has camphor. Carmex. CARMEX. I like it. It's great. I'm really happy about it, and I'm totally surprised. I'm so used to this brand. I've seen it all my life that I think I paid 98 cents for it at Walmart, and I've overlooked it. And yet it's perfect. It's perfect. It's softening. The camphor makes it feel just a little cool and fresh and clean and tingly in a present sense, not stinging. But it got me thinking, I could make my own, say, advertisement. I could do my own t-shirt, and I could take Carmex and I could do CAR parentheses ME space X or tilde. That's that little squiggly. X. And I can make this brand mine. I can make this brand my own on my framework and fretwork. And it's not lying. I'm doing the same thing that you're doing, Rich wrote, when you look on virtue, but you do not provide its scope. And yet you deny Sharon, what? She doesn't love me. I'm just gonna be pitiful in my relationship at home. You always say that you like being a dad. You never say you like being a husband. I think you should thank the woman that bore your children if you like being a dad. And stop acting like you're dead at home. If that's what you want. Okay. You're stealing value. You're presenting it thief end. Because Sharon needs ID and tear weight to keep coming up with legions of imaginative things that are not nailed down either, so that she can earn a living for her children that are nailed down, okay? Hyphenated, whatever, all right? So, is this getting nice and messy now? So, I'll just back this up. I can steal. I can STE, that is the female saint, ALL. Carmex, I like it. Camphor, I came for. I came for the poor and the HORE. Came for it. And I can retool this logo in my own framework and fretwork. And I can brand it, I can market it, and I can make it mine. Make it mine in my own time. Does it matter that Carmex led the way? No. I'm leading the way in my own way. WHE''YEID. And Carmex can't say, I'm not the way. EID. Because then, like I said, if you tell me that you can't serve me, you're saying that you have never served. And we have a big fault line and a huge unraveling. What else? When you feel up to it, I mean, shoot. Economically, I have to pace myself because you're stealing my value. Karmex is, hey, you're not thinking it through. You're making me work on the merits of you present a visual that you would too, that you want to, but I can clearly see you don't want to, you don't care to, and you haven't carried to, and haven't cared to. I can see that. And I can see your capacity. You haven't thought it through. So I get to exist in my time and work in time. And being honest, because you've already provided politeness for no reason. So if I'm blunt, that's used against me also. So I get to spend more minutes on UPS when I'm like, I need to speak to someone else. You know what that means? They leave me dangling for like 20, 30, 40 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I know they're doing that because I'm like, I need to speak to someone else. I need someone other than you who's just going to parrot an apology because I've already had enough apologies 3 days in a row. And you still haven't delivered my package, you know? So, sham delivery service. Don't fucking use the word delivery service. UPS, put some hyphens in that. I got a PS for you. What else? Yeah, in mate for the precog and what you're going to see on the next chapter, I have purchased House Industries Sign Painter font, among others, and I specifically use their fonts in that submission. Just to reiterate, I'm looking at my notes here. Law, hyphen, it can't deny the premise, or it has no value. It also can't set as side, can't set aside the rule, RUEWEL over L. It can't set aside the rule during the review. REVI. Vi as in Vi, rise to the challenge. EWE. AD. You can't tell me that you cannot serve me because then you're saying you have never served. And you have no premise to therefore and the ref for and the reef emotionally to have deserved the date for completion. So let's see. To make a mark right here, if you FEARD or the door or ord D-E-W-E-A-D-K-N-O-T. Or if you do not, fear. I wrote it K-N-O-T parentheses F-E-A-R-D. So it's a tear and a fear. Basically, this process is changing the value of 0. People in the law are manufacturing dough hand, D-O-H-A-N-D, meaning they're only handing off to hyphenated zeros, meaning people that don't stand for their identity, meaning if you're going to make a mark, stand for it. Stand for it right here. Or do not. So the 0 has to go, the 0 is also on a, I don't know. Well, it's on a learning curve as well. You know, every time I try to think of trying to extend myself, it's radically and politely, and then I see this shtick, I'm like, whatever. I feel I'm working with an INN-FAN-T. Constant lie. I'm working with an infant. And it's not very prepossessing to you having fucked someone with your charm. I can't imagine how it happened. How did you get children with your charm? I mean, I can only imagine part of not having sex in your marriage is because you're a bit of an infant with hyphens. There's no joy in that. Pass that down, if you don't mind. There is no joy in dating a recalcitrant INN-FAN-T. SEE-D. There isn't. Sorry. Sorry, Chumley. Let's see. Put that there. Alright, so I have notes I didn't do today. I thought I was going to. I think I'm just trying to be happy about my lot. I mean, it seems some people think that I am happy about my expressive capabilities. Okay, that's great, but you know what? I have to sit here and wait till I have some fucking money to put something in the marketplace so you don't forget about me because someone else is wearing my face for no reason. Should I look up J.J. Abrams and be like, you know what, dear clueless movie writer and conversationalist -T, there's another subtext going on here that you're not thinking, apparently, nor thinking of. I would sincerely appreciate it, J.J. Abrams, if you were not a doft, partial to passing doft, to get doft on your return as asked, tasked, sought, and taught. I would appreciate that. I would appreciate that. Yeah, I would have something to say about that. So why don't you appreciate that and maybe have a conversation with me about spectacular passion of doing things you like as long as it's container doft to toft. Okay, I get it. Andy Cruz is the hallmark leader of container doft to toft. This is how you have passion by inspiration of doing things you well like. As long as you don't have to think very much outside the box of container doft to toft. Ha ha! Look what I can do. Let me find my big ass pen. I don't know, scissors. Look at this. And ampersand. And I got a rat fink one with zigzag. Look everywhere, and the media, you can find it. Praise be. Type. Adweek. What is it? Typo, whatever's in Berlin, and Adweek, whatever, their spectacular write-up on you and Peachtree Stories, and that you live in a glass house and how fabulous you are living on a shoelace. I think you're falsifying your platform. I think you're falsifying your foundation. And I would appreciate it if you stop, at the very least. Because in stopping and not putting that hyphenated shit out there, it's hyphenated shit if you're not following through the Tao. And you have no intention to, some meant how. The toe also, T-O-W-E. I'm towing. You're not. "'Tis not my fault you haven't thought of the time that you spoke off. Have you? I hear it. I seek it. I represent it. 'Tis not my fault. T-I-S-K-N-O-T. A. Ta. Thank you. M-E-Y-E. I-D-F-A-L-L-T. I fall to time because it's what I am. And if you're not falling to time, you're not the time. You're not the time at comma ND. No date with without the hyphens. I checked my cheek. C-H-E parentheses E-C-K. I checked my cheek, and both my cheeks agree, even. Checked my mark. My mark and my check and my cheeks even agree that there's no handoff. I do not hand doff. D-O-F-T. There is no doff in my mark. I checked my cheek. Both cheeks agree, evenly. There is no doft. which is to say, do not hand off, D-O-F-T. Do not hand off. That's what my mark says to me. It's what it says to the means. Seeked. IT, seeked it, seeked it, seeked it. To be, the tube. T, parentheses, U, B-E. TB is trial balance. It's tuberculosis. Take your pick. Take your pick and your hyphens, if you will. To be, A.D. It's fairly obvious, this formula. It would seem to suggest that you're all doffs and you do not have capacity to be honestly sought or taught, and you don't care a lot, and what else? Your relationships are hubris. And for these things you falsify God, who is oh so doffed in your image, to thank you and praise you for being doffed. You make false images to your narcissism that you seek to pursue in the marketplace, even to broadly abuse anyone that hears a virtue presupposed by the men's frame when there's no one there. And no one cares. And no one is thinking in repair. Is there anything else I need to put on here? Brought the other note paper here. It was getting scattered. I thought I should bring it. Maybe I will try this again another day. The law, in quotation marks, law is not pating. P is the place. 8. Pate, that's your head. It's not pating for or is it plating? For or rep and reap, plating. What you eat, late, the lat, the back, lating. The law is not pating for or plating for anyone. For, F-O-R, parentheses A-M, for and forum, formally, ID. So that's something to consider when you think the law is the bottom line. It's hyphenated all the time. All the time you give it time, it will be hyphenated to supply. Because the law is speaking to what it knows. So it's kind of an odd, it's It's the converse. It's the converse where people think that you're not speaking to anyone. And I'm like, yeah, well, you need to check your premise because you can't pack it or unpack it. You can't load it or unload it. You're not speaking to anyone. You're speaking to anyone, and that's it. That is your limitations. And you're passing on suffering by stuffering, hyphenated time, to pass a doft and then supply your line a pity and emotion for no reason because you weren't suffering contingency in advance by thinking even